What's up, guys? It's Kate from Sunnyside. It's been a while. It's been quite some time since I made a video. I've had some things going on in my life. We added rabbits, as I shared with you guys, to our homestead, and that's been a lot of fun. I actually got a second doe, and trying to introduce her to the other two that already kind of have an established relationship is it's interesting. I thought chickens were terrible to the new girl, but never mind. Rabbits take the bit. But I just want to make a really quick video today and get it out, get my thoughts out. And lately I've been taking a break from some of my favorite content creators. I'm not going to name names, but I do enjoy watching their videos and hear what they have to say. But you know, lately I kind of just come to a realization for myself. I'm definitely, I guess this is where I'm going. I'm definitely in the preparedness movement. I think it's vital for everyone to be prepared. But more than just being prepared, I think it's important for people to be physically fit, to be able to be self-reliant. And to me, that's being prepared, right? Like when shit hits the fan, the only people or person that I'm going to rely on, right, is myself and my family and those that are close to me. I'm not going to have any hope for my government stepping in or something like that. And neither would I want to, right? Because governments historically are tyrannical, right? So in that sense, I am wanting to be prepared. Maybe in January, like last month, I was kind of getting stressed out. I was so not overwhelmed, but kind of in the same mind frame and constantly going around and around in my mind about being prepared and stocking up and saving money and, you know, waiting for this magical day that's going to come around and the world's going to burn and I'm going to be in my house with all my canned food and my little homestead and, you know, I'll be all right. You know, the more I started thinking about that, two thoughts came into my head, especially since I've taken a break from a lot of the content creators that I listen to, because what they do, just like everyone else, we parrot things, right? Like we hear something in the news, we repeat it, we parrot it, we put our own spin on it, but we help manifest these things into reality. And a lot of times I notice that the things that the news is putting out there isn't necessarily true. And then we as content creators continue to push it. And so let me just give you an example. Back in like 2021, there was all these news articles and I saw a lot of content creators on my news feed parroting, being a parrot, sorry, I can't speak, that there were going to be food shortages. Now, I'm not talking about 2020. I'm talking about after that, when there were all those shipment containers that were stuck off the coast, right? Like for about a year, the news cycle was there's going to be food shortages. There's not going to be enough food, right? And a lot of people were pushing like emergency food supplies and things like that. That happened, right? I mean, I remember seeing news articles where they would show you empty shelves and there's not any food, right? That I never saw that. That never happened in my reality, right? Like I went to Florida. There, every grocery store I went into, there was a mass amount of food. There was a mass amount of food in every grocery store that I went to here in Georgia. I never experienced empty shelves. And I'm not talking about 2020 when they were rationing things and things like that. I'm talking about walking into a grocery store and it being empty. Okay, they were pushing that narrative. And a lot of content creators were pushing that narrative and they were pushing the emergency food supply stuff. It never happened. Okay? And so, sorry, I had all this in my head, but I feel like I'm getting a little off track. But so I took a break and that's one thing I noticed. The other thing that I am reminding myself is that being prepared is like writing a birth plan, right? Like, you imagine how you want your birth to go, you plan it out, and then you actually get into labor, and guess what? You can just like throw all that stuff out the window because it never goes the way that you plan. Because in life it's like you always have that unknown thing that comes in, right? Like when you start a project, there's always the unknown. Like you can sit down and plan out a project and go through in your mind or with your team of people all the things that could go wrong. And there's always that thing that you never thought of. It's always there, and it always comes around. It always throws people off, right? Like, oh, I can't believe we didn't think about that. Or shoot, this is going to hold us back for, an additional 2 weeks or whatever it is. It always happens. And so I look at being prepared like that. Like, I'm going to do my best to prepare. But for me, preparing now means to be in a good, stable mental state. And if I am constantly subjecting myself to content that is, oh my gosh, did you see what they did? They're going to do this. They're going to do that. The world's going to burn, and constantly, we're going to crash. I mean, I listened to this one guy, and every headline, every news since 5 months ago has been, the economy's going to burn. The economy's going to crash. And you know what? I know it will. Like, eventually, they're switching over from the industrial age to the technocratic age, right? Like, we're going into digital currencies. They have to bring in digital currency because the dollar is not fast enough for the new world that we're all heading into. And guess what? You and we can't control it. You can't control it. I can't control it. It's still going to happen. Now, I have a choice on whether or not I want to participate in it. Sure. But I'm not going to stop it. Right? So, yes, they're doing things behind the scenes to create these events and create these things that happen in our reality that will slowly transition everyone into this. And I expect there to be an event next month, the following month, the next year. I expect us to go into war. I expect all of these things, but I am not going to live my life constantly subjecting my mentality to that thought. Because for me, time moves quickly. I mean, my oldest is going to be 13, and I don't know how it happened. Okay? Like, time moves so fast now. I'm going to spend it being creative. I'm going to spend it investing in myself. I'm going to spend it learning a new skill. I'm going to spend it making sure that I am mentally and physically and emotionally in the best place that I've ever been in. And if the world burns around me or comes crashing down, great. I'm still going to worry about me. Because guess what? I can't change the world. And I can't change my neighbors. And you know what? I've tried talking to people about some of this stuff. And guess what? Nobody wants to hear it. And everyone, even if we agree on 50%, like, there's still stuff that, there's a difference of an opinion. Like, everyone has their own perspective on what's going on. So it's not my job to convince anybody or change anyone's mind. My job is to make sure that I am living my best life. And the best way that I know how to do that is to make sure that I'm investing in me. I'm not going to sit around and watch content creators or content in general, whether that's, I don't even watch mainstream news, but alternative news, even some of these homesteaders that are jumping on the bandwagon. And I get it. I get it. Everyone wants views and everyone wants likes and everyone wants subscribers. I get it. That's like you got to understand too, like, they get energy from that. Like, when they post a video and they have all these views and they have all these likes and comments, they get energy from that. Meanwhile, you're putting your energy out of worry. You're constantly in a cycle of worry and feeling like you don't have enough. That's in a state of lack. And I just want to encourage everyone to remember that you have a certain amount of energy, life force energy in you. You're like a battery. And if you're constantly giving away your energy and your life force to worry and stress and being on this wagon wheel of I gotta be this and that and the day and waiting for a day that, you know what, may never come. Because let me tell you something, the controllers of this world, the puppeteers, the apex predator, the elites, whatever you want to call them, they don't work with let's just burn this shit to the ground. They don't work like that. They work in very subtle like moves, and they punch holes in every facet of society, right? And they play the long game. You know, it's a tiptoe. You know, and people, you know, that you want to, you know, conspiracy theorists or whatever from a long ago, like listen to David Icke or Alex Jones, they have been talking about this stuff for decades, guys, for decades, you know, and it's just the natural order of things. You know, if you look at hundreds of years ago, people were hello free. Like, you didn't need a passport, you didn't need a birth certificate, you were just born and you just figured life out. You didn't have to go to school and then pick a career and then get married and then have kids and then they get the house and then the job. It wasn't a factory line like that. You were just born into this world and you figured it out. And over time, the control has like has its grip on society, and it's squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and it will continue to squeeze. And guess what? We'll have a group of renegades. Like, that is also true. There's always another sector of society that doesn't want to do what the main flow of society, the main culture wants to do. They're called the renegades, the outcasts, right? The deplorables, the what's that thing in Divergent? The divergents, right? Like the people who just don't fit in. Right? That just think there will always be those people, and they're going to find a way too. But to, you know, constantly think about this stuff, you know, I don't think it's out of storage space, so I got to make this quick. I got like 7 minutes. But I guess my point is, you know, you need to focus on your own reality. Because events are going to keep happening, and shit around the world is going to keep happening, and they're going to think of new things to distract you from living your life. Continue to live your life. Like, what are you going to do about the border right now? What are you going to do? You're going to drive down there? You're going to be a cowboy with your gun and patrol, you know, the wall or whatever, and make sure that the Chinese and the Mexican and whoever are coming over? No, you're not going to do that. So what? Like, we know these things are happening. We know that they're putting all these people into our country to invade. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing. You're just going to sit behind a keyboard and type and say, oh, and I know, and what's happening to our country, and da-da-da-da. And what did that do? That just took your energy. Like, you just need to understand that these things are happening. They're going to continue to happen. And with every single event that's not organic, okay, it doesn't just happen. These are planned events. Your freedom is going to be slowly squeezed away. And until the fight comes to your community and your house, then I suggest, just a recommendation, just the way I look at it, is focus on you and your life. Like, what can you create? Start a business. Start a garden. Start an outreach program in your community with the people that you know. Do something for you and your life. Because it's going to go by and you're going to be 70 years old and you're still going to be waiting for that freaking day. And it's not going to come. And you're going to look back and think, damn, I wasted all this time being in a mental state of just constantly doing this instead of living your life. Live it. Love the people who are around you. Again, take care of yourself. Go work out. Oh my gosh. Forget about the medicines and all this. The best medicine, nature and working out. You want to be prepared? How about start with you? How about start with yourself? How about start with your health? Be prepared with your health. How about that? So you're not dependent on pharmaceuticals and yada. Like, start there. Start with yourself. Start with your family. And and then all this other noise and BS that goes on around the world that's constantly trying to distract us and suck our energy, our life force energy out of us. Cut it off. I promise you, you'll be better off, because like the Amish, guess what? They don't know anything about what's going on. I guarantee you. And guess what? They're living their life. You know, when Corona happened, I doubt the Amish knew what the hell was going on. Seriously. Like, it didn't affect them. Right? Because they're not plugged in to all the noise. They're just living their life in their bubble. So, create your own bubble. Do it. I mean, that's my little spiel for you guys. That's where I'm at right now. So, like I said, got some new animals on the homestead. I'm really excited about these rabbits. I love them. I don't know why I didn't get them sooner. My pigs are getting bigger. Still homeschooling the kids. You know, I've done something new for myself. I've learned a skill. I'm learning how to sell insurance. I love helping people, and you know, everyone needs insurance. So I want to help you find the best deal, right, to protect the things that are your biggest assets, right, like your house and your car. So I'm really enjoying that. And again, I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on my family, on my community. And yeah, I understand that things are going on in the world, and until it's right here in my yard, you know, I'm going to continue to put my blinders on and focus on me, right? And focus on me and get to where I want to go. I'm not going to let anyone else take my energy and get me off course. So, hey, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me. And I hope this resonates with some of you. You know, the point is to encourage you. And I'm not saying don't ever listen to your content creators, the people that you love, but if it's the same message of like fear porn, then, you know, maybe just take a break for a while and, I don't know, listen to music or look at a video on how to grow something or work out or whatever it is. You know, just take a break and see how you feel. But, you know, I just appreciate the views and appreciate all my subscribers. And, yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.